Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Shem Shai. Bashem Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you occupants out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of the highways and byways, going out on the streets teaching and preaching, and also by way of the internet. Shalom to you very few sisters out there listening and learning. It's your brother Nayab, back with another news update. This for fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, fair use. And for educational purposes only. This is not for any kinds of monetary gain. Again, this is for fair use, fair use, fair use, and educational purposes only.
National Guard troops will be armed while patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. A DoD official telling NBC News they're officially authorized for self-protection. It's a scene Chicago is hoping to avoid. Their mayor, Brandon Johnson, tonight pushing back on President Trump's threat to send the National Guard to more American cities.
We don't need cities across America occupied by our military. They don't have policing powers. They don't have arresting powers.
The president also suggesting on social media this morning, I will send in the troops to Baltimore after targeting New York and Chicago in the Oval Office Friday.
We'll go in and we'll straighten out Chicago, just like we did D.C. Chicago is very dangerous.
According to Chicago police statistics, murders, robberies, and shootings are all down more than 30% this year. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker accusing Trump of abusing his power and saying in a statement that there is no emergency that warrants deploying the National Guard.
Southwest is changing another long-standing policy. So starting in January, the airline will require passengers who encroach upon the neighboring seat to buy an additional ticket, which may not be refunded. Now, previously, you could either pay the cost of an extra seat in advance and later get a refund, or show up at the airport and request an extra seat at no charge. So now the second seat will only be refundable if the flight takes off with at least one open seat and both are in the same fare class. Advocacy groups for overweight people calls the changes devastating since they raised costs.
We stopped 3 wars, go to Africa. They like to say, I love black people. And I did great with the vote with black people. But they say, he's a racist. I said, really? For 35 years, a war raged between Rwanda and the Republic of the Congo. And it was a vicious war. 9 million people were killed with machetes, largely. Hatchets, machetes. That went on for more than 30 years, but 34, 35 years. And I stopped it.
We not Africans.
I don't think we need much government for anything. Keep us safe abroad. Domestically, keep it local. That's kind of how I feel. I think the federal government's way too involved in our lives in every different level.
I'm with you.
But the Patriot Act violates the First Amendment in a few different ways. Free speech is gone. So if you say anything that's considered dangerous or explosive, suddenly you're on a list. And then you can be gag ordered. So that's prior restraint. You can't do that. Then you've got the Fourth Amendment violations where illegal search and seizure. You can't search through Americans without probable cause. You just can't. But the Patriot Act says you no longer need probable cause. You just need to be relevant. So if you're relevant to an investigation, then we don't need a warrant. We can just look into your files. And this gets renewed time and time again. So it's not a left-right Democrat Republican. They just these are sunset clauses that keep getting re-signed. I forget the numbers offhand, but 215 is certainly one of them. I don't think we need much government for
They're warning people to stay off the roads right now due to this wall of dust moving through that area. This is just so kind of fascinating to see, profound to see, as this major dust storm hitting the Phoenix area. Let's take you out to our Fox 10 team as they are covering this in full.
We are right in the middle of this dust storm. So take a look there, the wind blowing the trees. We've got people who are doing what they should do, pulling over. We're going really slow here in our car. You can see that there is not much visibility. You can't see, it's even hard to tell how far in the distance you can see. At times you can see some of the trees coming up, but for the most part, really hard to tell what's in front of us and what's coming, and there's no end in sight.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. Over the weekend, we learned from the media that Donald Trump has been planning for quite a while now to deploy armed military
They really don't want him in Chicago.
personnel to the streets of Chicago. This is exactly the type of overreach that our country's founders warned against. And it's the reason that they established a federal system with a separation of powers built on checks and balances. What President Trump is doing is unprecedented and unwarranted. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. It is un-American.
Look at this. It says AI. It's fucking crazy.
عناصر الطب مرة أخرى في ساحة المستشفى مرة أخرى. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. استهداف المجمع. مين فوق؟ مريم فوق؟ مريم فوق؟
It's the aftermath of what happened.
Trump wants Iran to obey the U.S. The Iranian nation will stand against those with all its power.
Iran's a supreme leader right there, vowing to stand up to Washington, refusing to submit to America's demands on Tehran's nuclear program. To Iran now, where Tehran stands its ground, it's saying it will not bow to American pressure. That is the message from Iran's supreme leader, coming amid the showdown with Washington over Iran's nuclear program. Let's have a listen to what the Ayatollah Khamenei had to say.
او میخواد که
Trump wants Iran to obey the U.S. The Iranian nation is deeply offended by such a great insult and will stand against those who have such a wrong expectation of the Iranian nation with all its power.
The leader of the Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, has addressed the Iranian nation on Sunday, speaking to people from all walks of life with a powerful message of unwavering resilience and steadfast defiance against foreign threats and insults. He emphasized the importance of national unity and reminded the people of Iran's historic strength in overcoming constant external pressures, asserting that Iran's sovereignty and dignity cannot be compromised by any foreign power. Moreover, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei sent a direct message that the Iranian nation's spirit remains unbroken and defiant against any efforts to diminish their sovereignty and national pride. The leader then shifted focus to the broader context of the recent hostile actions taken against Iran, specifically reflecting on the 12-day war between Israel and Iran that began in mid-June. He recounted how on June 13th, Iran was attacked amidst this conflict, and immediately after, foreign entities gathered in secret to conspire against the Islamic Republic.
On June 13, Iran was attacked. One day later, on June 14, a group of U.S. agents gathered in a European capital and began discussing replacements for the Islamic Republic.
Well, the leader's message was clear. Iran faces complex challenges, but the nation's resolve and the people's loyalty to their system will foil all attempts to undermine it. Well, turning attention inwards, Ayatollah Khamenei addressed the persistent attempts to weaken the Islamic Republic of Iran from within, a struggle that has lasted for over 4 decades. Ayatollah Khamenei warned that the enemies of Iran have long learned that direct military or economic pressure will not succeed, and so their main tactic is to sow division, hypocrisy, and discord among the Iranian people themselves.
The Islamic Republic cannot be rolled back by these harsh tools and means. They have been trying to do this for 45 years, but the Islamic Republic has become stronger day by day. They have figured out that their path to weaken Iran is to create division and hypocrisy within the country. Of course, they have agents. Zionist agents, U.S. agents are hiding just around the corner in the country.
Well, with this message, Ayatollah Khamenei called on the people to remain vigilant, united, and steadfast against the multifaceted threats posed both from outside and from within. Ayatollah Khamenei directed firm condemnation towards Israel, identifying it as the foremost enemy standing against Iran and many nations around the globe.
Today, our enemy, that enemy standing against us, is the Zionist regime, which is the most hated regime in the world, the most detested government in the world. Nations are disgusted with the Zionist government. They hate it, and even other governments condemn it.
Ayatollah Khamenei delivered a denunciation of the brutal actions committed by Israel against the people of Gaza, highlighting the unprecedented and horrific nature of these crimes.
Children who come to get food are being gunned down. As far as I know, this is unprecedented in history. This has disgusted other nations. We must stand against this. Resistance isn't just words that governments say, that we oppose it, we condemn it. Even the governments of France, the UK, and others have condemned it, but that is not good enough. The path to aiding the Zionist regime must be closed.
Legionnaire's disease, a severe form of pneumonia, has killed at least 6 people in New York City since late July and sickened 112 more. This is the largest outbreak that the city has seen since 2015. How did it happen? This is the time of year when, unfortunately, the type of bacteria that we are worried about, Legionella, grows very quickly. It grows in warm water and spreads through mist containing the bacteria that people inhale. The New York City Health Department has found Legionella in 12 cooling towers, which convert warm water into cold air for large buildings. How many more cases are we seeing today compared to, say, 20 years ago? Yeah, so we're really seeing an alarming increase of this disease. Within the past 20 years, cases have increased tenfold in the United States. Cities in the Northeast and Midwest are reporting more cases as older infrastructure meets hotter weather, due in part to climate change. A lot of people and a lot of buildings that maybe didn't traditionally have air conditioning units might be putting in these cooling towers. That would make a lot more people susceptible. People over 50, smokers, and the immunocompromised are the most vulnerable. Symptoms.
Are federal troops coming here to Chicago? President Trump is certainly signaling it's the next American city on his list.
Chicago, Illinois is a disaster. I have property there. It's a disaster. I made the statement that next should be Chicago because, as you all know, Chicago is a killing field.
And leaders here in Chicago are pushing back.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago.
The governor of Illinois spending the day walking through the city, trying to make the point there is no emergency that would justify the use of the National Guard here in Chicago.
They do tremendous work, but we don't call them in unless there is truly an emergency. And there is not one. It's one of the reasons that we're standing right here is you can see that this city is actually operating extraordinarily well and in a much better
Yeah, but he said he's going to the slums, to the hood.
position from a crime perspective than it was 4 years ago.
While city leaders say, hey, there's more work to do, shootings, robberies, and murders are all down more than 30% when compared to last year.
Governor, this is all very intentional. You're floating right now in front of Trump Tower. Is there anything you can do to stop them from federalizing the National Guard here?
Look, we're going to take them to court. We're going to make sure that they know, that the court knows and understands that there is no cause for this, that there is no emergency, there is no law in the books that allows him to put federalized troops on the streets of the city of Chicago. That's what we're going to do to begin with.
The one thing that is almost certain, this will end up before a judge.
If you're afraid of AI taking your job, I want you to save this video for later, and I want you to share it with someone who's thinking about what type of job they want to go into. Everybody knows that AI is probably going to replace some jobs, but Microsoft just released 2 lists. Right now, we're looking at jobs that are going to get replaced fairly quickly with AI. So as we go down this list, we see interpreters and translators, historians, customer service representatives, telemarketers, political scientists, technical writers, editors, advertising sales agents, new account clerks, personal financial advisors, archivers, web developers. So you could see, and it's got like kind of scores attached to it as well, also like how many people have jobs in those spaces. So let's take a look at what jobs won't get replaced by AI. That way this video can be valuable to people you know. All right, and correction, it's 40 of the top jobs. So we got phlebotomists, those are the people who take your blood. We got nursing assistants, hazard materials removal workers, helpers, painters, plasterers, embalmers, plant and system operators, ship engineers, tire repairers and changers. I think, as you could see, dishwashers in there. So if you want to make a career dishwashing, could be a good one to get into. Tire builders. Basically, what I've conducted is things that take hands and physical labor are probably not going to get replaced by AI. So, again, if you know someone who's thinking about what am I going to do for a career, where should I start, I think this video would be a great one to share with them, have them take a look at this list.
We got air taxis now. Airlift, Uber. Fly now.
You'll be the first one to come up against the wall. What do you feel, mate?
Do you have anything to say?
You should be sent with us. You all should. All of you. Yeah, you should. This ain't about racism. This is about women being touched. What is wrong with you? If you're against racism, and you're against women being touched, you should be with us. Yeah, we're all against being with us. You should be. You should be. You shake your hand. I'm not.
These Edomites is going through it, man. Because you got a lot of Arabs that's moving into the UK and stuff, man. It's a shit show over there.
I'm shaking your hand. That's a valid statement.
لا حصل الآن خليك يا الله راح الدفاع المدني قتلوا الناس راح الدفاع المدني قتلوا الناس استهداف كبير الآن كما تشاهدون في هذه الصورة
The dude is actually okay.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is
incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately.
Now, allegedly, there was a journalist who said that he was going out. Well, no, he wasn't a journalist. I think he was part of logistics. That's what it's called. And he had ended up being out on the field, and he had to clean up the meat, if you know what I mean, off the field. He said, man, the whole field smelled like a dump. Just like everything just smelled like death. You know what death smell like? Sulfur. You know, anything that's decaying. He said it was so many limbs and stuff like that, you know, allegedly. So this what been going on, man. Niggas dodging bullets.
All right, so now we see these 3 National Guard members do have their 9mm pistols on their hip. So here you have it, the armed National Guard. Now, what is National Guard going to do with their pistols? Who the fuck knows? Because you can't turn it on American citizens, right? So you've literally armed our guard for no reason. This is just asking for escalation. This is just asking for something to go wrong. You know, when I was in the Army, negligent discharges happen all the time. So how many of these National Guard who are not used to having their M9 on their hip going to ND in D.C.? We don't know. This is absolutely irresponsible. This is absolutely misuse of our service members. And this is just to intimidate the American people. Our American military is not here to intimidate its own people, but that is how they're being used.
The World Cup was here the other day. And come to think of it, there's your trophy for the World Cup. In fact, it's solid gold. That's actually solid gold, so heavy that some of the people in this room wouldn't be able to lift it up.
All right,
Look, Chicago, everybody knows how bad it is. Everybody standing there knows. We know. You don't have to be doing any studies. They should be saying, please come in. We may or may not. We may just go in and do it, which is probably what we should do. The problem is, it's not nice when you go in and do it and somebody else is standing there saying, as we give great results, say, we don't want the military. They need help badly. Chicago desperately needs help. Just look at the crime statistics.
All right, we're on our way into the Gaza Strip right now. We got Xavier in the back. Can't figure out how to clip his helmet. All right, so we just met up with the Army. We're in a small convoy of vehicles, and we're about to head into the Gaza Strip. Entering the Gaza Strip now. So there's no oil in the Gaza Strip either. No fuel. Petroleum trucks right there.
That's you up? It's just sitting here.
Pallets and pallets of food.
They wouldn't get that. They wouldn't get that. You know,
no food in Gaza.
Palestinian workers.
Look at all that. Here we are in the Gaza Strip where there is allegedly no food aid, level 5 starvation, famine. There's no food in the Gaza Strip. What's all that? I don't know what all this is behind me. It looks like food. It smells like food.
Well, every time when they dish out the food, it's a trap for them to get their fucking heads shot the fuck off. It's almost like you might as well just starve to death instead of trying to go for the food because you're just a target at the end of the day. That's what allegedly is happening.
It's just cans and cans of vegetables. You could feed so many people chickpeas. You could feed so many people with this stuff. What do we have over here? Looks like more chickpeas.
And I was thinking too, well, even when they do get the food and all that, even if they do require food, there's no bathroom, so they're just using the bathroom out on the land, just taking dumps and throwing up and all that.
There's more coming over there. Oh my God, ¿y eso qué es? ¿De quién es la guerra? ¿De quién es la quinceañera? ¿De la balas?
Kilmar Garcia, he getting sent to Uganda. That's fucked up, man. Came back to be with his family and now they sending his ass away to Uganda. You fucking Uganda.
Y'all better not do no crime because your president, he about to lock your ass up and keep you in jail. So today, Trump just signed an executive order to end cashless bail in Washington, D.C. And he plans to implement this nationwide. So that means that regardless if you have the bail money or not, your ass is staying in jail until trial or until that station or whoever want to release you. So let's see what the orange man have to say.
But that was when it happened. Somebody kills somebody, they go in, don't worry about it, no cash, come back in a couple of months. We'll give you a trial. You never see the person again. And, I mean, they kill people and they get out. Cashless bail. They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on a street. Any street all over the country, cashless bail. We're ending it. But we're starting by ending it in D.C., and that we have the right to do through federalization.
And there you have it. It will be ended, and I can see both sides.
Well, America, the list is in, and it's a whole lot worse than we thought. So recently, there was a 10 million pound meat and poultry recall due to listeria contamination. And only a few products were shown that were contaminated. Well, now we have access to all of them. So first, let me show you the sheer amount of stores that were affected by this thing. That's right, people. Walmart to Target to Aldi's to Trader Joe's to Walgreens, Giant Eagle, you name it. Now, I'm going to put the link in the description, but check out fsis.gov to get the entire product list. So these are just in general the products that were affected, okay? From Boston Market to Jenny Craig. Then you've got your Kroger brand, your Meijer brand, your Giant Eagle brand, even El Monterey burritos. You have to understand, this pre-cooked chicken is put in a lot of things, from salads to wraps to pastas to ready-made meals. I mean, I was shocked when I saw some of these products. I mean, like El Monterey, and then just like a ton of off-brands, like great value. Like I was.
All right, the battle lines have been drawn, it looks like, with these 19 states having National Guard being sent in. A really bold move here by the Sith Empire, gobbling up the South and going up towards Middle America here, just leaving the Rebel Alliance just kind of chopped up in little isolated islands, leaving them in a bad spot. We'll have to see what move they'll make next. They're still squabbling over Gavin Newsom and gerrymandering their states, but their next move is going to have to be a bold one.
And just like that, Lil Nas X now has 4 felony charges after being arrested for walking around LA in the nude. These are 3 counts of battery on a cop and resisting arrest. Some of his fans are saying that this is too much. He took off his drawers, ran up on a cop, and punched the cop. You thought he was going to get away with that. We got to be realistic. People on social media are saying this is karma. Some saying because he was messing around with the devil. Some people saying because he was mocking God. While others saying that because he was 25-8 doing antics, trolling. And now all that trolling karma has come back to bite him. Only reason he doesn't have a nudity charge is because they're still waiting on the report to see if he was under the influence or not. But they're going to do him like Designer and put him on that list.
So y'all don't pay attention unless I yell, unless I raise my voice. So here the fuck we are again. They are sending National Guard troops to 19 more states for no fucking reason. If there's an increase in crime in your area, that is for the local police officer. It's for law enforcement to fucking tackle. There is no crime that is so rampant in the United States of America that the National Guard needs to be deployed. It's a waste of time, effort, and fucking money. I think it's safe to say that a lot of those National Guardsmen are not arriving feeling patriotic as ever, ready to defend their country. They're simply there because they fucking have to be. They don't have a choice. What the fuck is going on? We look at y'all and say Donald Trump is trying to be a dictator and not leave in 2028. And he does things that clearly show that. And while we all look around saying, well, what can we do? What can we do? March in the streets? I feel like a 20 million strong march returns the fucking heads. Now, individually, we can't really do shit. If I run to the White House and I...
Now, I do want to say this. Jake gonna try to, even if you try to march, they even said if you try to march, it's not gonna get anything done. Everything is already into plan and everything is already being set up. A march won't stop what these devils have going. And first of all, a march won't stop what Yahweh Shemiah Shah got going on. All right, the Heavenly Father wants this to happen, and it's going to happen His way. There's nothing that you can do about it. All right, the only way how this man is going to come down is to return upon our Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shah. All right.
Hey, Trump, stop it right now or I'm going to make you stop. They're going to take a C4 block, put it on a drone, put the drone in my ass, and blow me to shit, right? You can't do that with 20, 30, 40 million people. But we can't seem to get on the same fucking page. They just painted the goddamn Texas border wall black to make it hotter. It's a 30-foot wall. Metal. It's gonna be hot regardless. Now that it's black, it's cold as fucking night, but it's a 30-foot wall. Who the fuck is scaling that? A different color? You got ICE being fucking Gestapo every day. But a new color is your brand new tag? Okay. Are we seeing this?
He's out. Okay, so if you saw the video earlier, of the veteran that was burning the flag in protest of Donald Trump's executive order. This is him. He's out of jail. So walk us through. You got picked up by Secret Service, then what?
Yep, got searched, handcuffed, put in the back of one of their rides, sat there for a while. They were arguing with Park Police on who had jurisdiction. Park finally had jurisdiction. They put me in the back of their car, this shitty-ass fucking car to ride in the back of, by the way. Wound up back over at their holding cell, their D cell, as they call it, D1.
Yeah, you were District 1.
Yeah, District 1.
I found out, yeah.
You know, they felt the need to search me 3 times. So what, 3-4 hours?
Yeah.
4 hours?
It's been about 4 hours right now.
Just do it. So 4 hours, and then
so what they eventually charge you with?
They charged me with lighting a fire in a park.
So so to make sure everybody understands your message, why did you do this to begin with?
I did this in protest of what Donald Trump did with that executive order, saying that it was illegal to burn an American flag. He can't make orders, and I want to put it to the test, so I did. And
you're not in jail for a year.
I'm not in jail for a year.
He's out.
It'd be a
East Palestine, Ohio, where the story about a toxic train derailment and a massive chemical fire has now become a story about the drip, drip, drip of internal government documents obtained exclusively by News Nation. Our Rich McHugh has been digging through every memo and email he can get his hands on, and the most recent batch reveals just how quickly the EPA knew that there were health concerns following the disaster. So why did it give the all clear and allow residents to return to the area, knowing that there could be a public health threat? Rich, it turns out it didn't take very long for the agency to discover that there was actually a problem here.
That's exactly right, Elizabeth. Not only that, this document proves that we've obtained, this document proves that they were seriously concerned about exposures and the long-term health impacts for the residents of East Palestine internally. That's the key here, internally, because what they said publicly was exactly the opposite, that East Palestine was safe.
EPA air monitoring has not detected any levels of health concern in the community that are attributed to the train derailment.
The message from the head of the EPA in East Palestine 2 weeks after officials there blew up 5 tankers full of toxic chemicals over East Palestine was simple. The agency was not detecting toxic chemicals that residents should be concerned about, that they are safe. In fact, they were encouraged to come home after 3 days.
Now, I do want to say this. It has been a lot of chemical spills in Ohio. And me being from Ohio, it has been a lot. I want to share to you something. When I went out to California a couple of years ago, or even though the water was harsh, to the skin, like, you know, for like showering, bathing, and washing yourself, the water was a little harsh, so it kind of broke me out. The air was beautiful to me, maybe because of the part that I was in, maybe because I was in Ottawa, or is it, I forget what it's called. Is it Ottawa? No, Ontario. I think it's Ontario, California. One of them. I think it's Ontario, California. Even when I was up in Malibu, though, too, the air quality was good. You know, even though everything is on fire and shit now. But when I had came back here to Ohio, I mean, immediately when I came back here, I felt like I feel like I was being suffocated. Like I couldn't breathe. It just tasted like, it tastes like, not tasted. It's not a word. It tastes like pollution, man. It just tastes like chemicals, and more chemicals, chemical spills and outbreaks keep happening. And it's horrible, man. You know, this is this state is an industrialized type of state, you know, so it's always pollution in the air, man. Like downtown Cleveland is horrible, dude. It's horrible. The steel mill, everything is horrible. It's horrible, man. I'm surprised the plants is even living here.
But an internal EPA document News Nation has
are graphic, and the video. Look at this child's back. Look at what he has suffered. And that.
See, if you're getting if your body is getting burnt like this, how can you possibly claim that you're God's chosen people? You know?
Look at the burn on this child. Right now, doctors are considering whether they've got to do skin grafts on the 5 and 7 year old little boys. These two children go on a water park trip with their daycare. To Frank Morano, radio talk show host, The Answer. Frank, what happened?
Well, Nancy, I mean, obviously, it's these little boys' fault. They were told to wear a shirt, and they didn't. I mean, a 7 and a 5-year-old not wearing a shirt when they were instructed to? I mean, come on, the audacity of these young boys. They ran out of sunscreen. These boys had to go to 3 different hospitals and are still suffering from these injuries.
The Lord burnt their ass. That's why you're not put, hey man, Esau, Edom, take your ass back up in them fucking caves, man. Go back to where you came from. Oh,
you are looking at the largest amount of cocaine ever seized by the Coast Guard. There are almost 62,000 pounds of cocaine and 14,000 pounds of marijuana. The Coast Guard says it seized all of this during 19 busts in the Pacific Ocean and
cocaine, bro. We all know who's doing that, man. We all know.
Caribbean Sea. The load worth almost $500 million. The Coast Guard official says that there is enough cocaine here to kill every person in the state of Florida.
Damn. With that, until next time, Shalom.